Good morning, everyone. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast. It is for all signs. And it is a reading where I speak in broad terms. You need to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. If it doesn't fit or doesn't make sense, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's broken or wrong. You just might be working on something different at this time. It's originally created for Saturday the 6th of May, but it's not solely set for that date. If you're seeing it on a different date and it makes sense to you or your situation, by all means utilize the reading when you're seeing it. I believe readings can be timeless and they find us when we need them, not necessarily when they were originally created for. So kind of take what you need and leave the rest. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily readings. There's a little blurb in there about some housekeeping rules, what decks I'm using, how to follow me on social media at my Instagram or my Facebook business page. If you want a private reading, you would send me a message at either of those two places. I would not reach out to you to sell you a reading, so know that if anybody reaches out to you to sell you a reading, they are an imposter, so don't trust them as me. What else? There's easy ways to support the channel. Also, you can do so by hitting the thumbs up button, subscribing to the channel, hitting the notification bell so you get notified whenever I put up a new video, which is pretty much daily. And also leaving me a question or comment on the video greatly helps. Sharing the video out, letting your friends know about me, all of that is greatly appreciated. I will be referring back to the Sunday underpinning reading. That video populates in the lower left-hand corner at the end of this video, so if you hear me speaking about cards that you do not see in this reading, I'm referring back to that. It's just a layer of, like a look at the week and what's going on kind of in the background. It's another layer to what we see today here in this reading. So keep that in mind. And let's get into these cards and see what Spirit wants us to know. For Saturday the 6th of May. We'll still be in the shadow period of that Scorpio full moon eclipse, so prepare for that. Hello, Emperor. I just saw the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. A little bit of Aries energy for us to say hello. Let's see what the card is for the day. We have the Nine of Wands. Sorry, not Nine of Swords. He is kind of hot. So the Nine of Wands is like the wounded warrior, right? He's the guy that has been through it a little bit. He has been made smarter through his experiences. Wands is that energy of fire, the energy of action associated with the realm of spirit, right? Whatever lessons we've learned along the way, they maybe have been hard won, but they have, I want to say, like sort of sunken deeply into us, right? They've given us an awareness where we can work smarter, not harder, where we can take our past experiences and use them to our advantage to somewhat protect ourselves or guide us along our path so that we don't continue to make the same mistakes again. Nines are oftentimes depicted as personal completions, right, within the cycle of the tarot. So whatever lessons we've learned along the way, they've affected us somewhat so deeply at the spirit level that we have now figured out how to either avoid these things happening again or make different choices, decisions, take different, options in a smarter way, right? Yes, it's a card of being a little bit battered or beleaguered from our past experiences, but we're not dead yet. What I do love about this particular depiction, aside from the fact that he's rather hot in his corduroy pants, and like corduroy does not get enough hype since the 70s, I'm sorry, but is this one that he's holding has this light emanating off of it, this like light crystal. There's all these different crystals on all of the wands, but this one's emanating a light, meaning there's a truth and an awareness that lights our way. It kind of gives me a little bit of hermit vibes, except, the hermit is more internal. This is more external because it's fire energy. I really think that we've learned something along the way through this transformation and this process, because we've seen the death card a lot this week, that allows us to be a bit smarter about the decisions we make or about the experiences we allow in or the people that maybe we allow in, the situations that we choose to deal with today. We are protected with this card. You know, those wands always are like a form of protection to me. So regardless of what is going on, we are protected and safe behind the awareness or the wisdom of our past experiences, and we're putting that to good use. We're not necessarily letting those events of the past be in vain. You know, we're not repeating them necessarily. We're utilizing them to educate ourselves, to make better, smarter, wiser decisions. We've been you know, possibly put through the ringer, but in that process, we've been. I kind of have this mental picture of, you know, when you make like clay pottery or whatever, it gets molded, but then it gets put into the kiln and put through the fire, and then it comes out this beautiful piece of work when it's done. And that's sort of the feeling that I get from the Nine of Wands. We may not know the beauty just yet or fully feel the beauty just yet, but it is there. And we will move forward in that strength, that awareness, that new intelligence as we move forward. He's definitely also facing the future. I like that he's standing too. The underpinning card is the Knight of Pentacles. And so from the Sunday reading. And so that knight is going to be extremely stable even in this full moon scorpionic eclipse energy. He's not going to make rash decisions. He's going to balance out the wands aspect of this card. This is one of the more immobile wands cards, in my opinion, right? Where it's a wands card almost of reflection and taking what's happened in the past and then setting it up so that we can create and move towards a better future, a smarter future. With the Knight of Pentacles underpinning this, it will be a slow and steady pace forward that is reliable, grounded, and not rushed by any means. So the decisions that we will make will be discerning, well thought out, well planned, logical, and steady. You know, we can remain in that strength, that wisdom of our spirit to take those steady steps, be it the Nine of Pentacles in the 3D world, to move forward. Even if it feels like it's at a slow pace, that's okay. Take it step by step, lesson by lesson, and utilize them to the best of our ability. Let's look at the Untamed Elemental. It is Waterfall. This almost looks like to me, it gives me like this funny angel vibe. Like I see the water as the body, these darker blue as like the wings. This is the arms and the head of the angel. I don't know if you guys see that. It's kind of interesting to me. I'm going to read you Waterfall. Obviously, Waterfall, I'm assuming, is with the water element. Let's just double check that and make sure. Some of these cards are a little bit interesting in the sense that, like, Ladybug yesterday was fire, and now we have a fire card leading. And so we have water energy coming in, this water energy, waterfall. To me, this, before I even read the book, it could be about an outpouring of truth, of emotion, especially with the full moon in Scorpio, the effects of that, it being an eclipse. Also, we have Venus transferring into Cancer, which Venus is a highly, like, a romantic planet. Cancer is a very emotional sign. So we have two, you know, kind of heavy water sign placement astrological signs at work right now. So this waterfall card doesn't necessarily scare me. This can be a truth coming forward. It's also giving me a little bit of the Ace of Cups vibe that we saw earlier this week. I'll read you Waterfall now. Interesting, I'm doing this on 5/5, and the page number is 55. Oh, yeah, it's 55. All right, so let go. Waterfall is an indigenous offering as resounding as the hum of the earth. She calibrates and transforms all who witness her. An azure-colored force field, pulsating with purity, obeying the gravitational pull of her destiny and shaping the earth along the way. She dances with glittering abundance. Waterfall, in her unhinged impermanence, shows us that some things cannot be stopped. It is through her wild existence that we receive a transmission. What has passed will be reborn by plunging into the soothing depths of euphoria, as we have to do. All we have to do is let go. It's interesting that it's talking about what has passed will be reborn, because we saw the death card a bunch this early part of this week. Scorpio also rules sex, death, and regeneration, right? So this full moon and the release of the full moon, there's definitely these death vibes, these release vibes, and pouring forward to this new rebirth. Waterfall says that nothing is permanent, and so grasping is pointless. This is actually good news. It takes so much effort to hold on tightly, and doing so rarely yields the destined result. Imagine you are thirsty and have only your hands from which to drink. If they are fists, the water has no place to rest long enough to make it into your mouth. But if you open your hands gently, a natural reservoir forms, and you will be able to quench your thirst. Take cue from Waterfall and release what you have in your fists. Just like her trajectory, that of your destiny is unstoppable. What is truly yours will come without constriction. The balanced version is frequent synchronicity with new opportunities. The imbalanced version is grasping, controlling, repeating the same story. And to bring it into balance, you need to let go wherever you are overly attached. When I hear that, it's interesting to me because this Nine of Wands indicates kind of, like I said, he looks like he's pondering things before moving forward. He's looking at, maybe the situations of the past and maybe contemplating, where have I been harmed or hurt? Where have I held on too tightly? And he's getting ready to adjust to move forward through that Knight of Pentacles from the Sunday reading, which will be slow and steady, well measured. Let's look at the clarifiers to see where this is going. We have the Nine of Cups. That ties in nicely with Waterfall. Also with the Nine of Wands, because we have a 9-9 connection of a completion cycle, both spiritually and emotionally. The Nine of Cups is a card of emotional fulfillment, feeling like everything is lined up and we're in alignment with how we feel. We have the Four of Pentacles. This would be that energy of holding on too tightly. There can be a push-pull between these two cards, one of where we feel emotionally content and free, or where we're trying to hold on to something too strongly in the 3D world, and it as a foundation that maybe isn't necessarily supposed to be kept, and it might be stopping the flow of this waterfall or stopping the contentment of this Nine of Cups that wants to come in. The last card is the Ten of Swords. Wow. We had the Eight of Swords here yesterday in this position. To me, whatever might have been beleaguering us yesterday or we were worried about, we have to be done with. Tens are complete, total completions, not only for ourselves, but everything involved within the situation. Thoughts, communications, ideas that we're having that we've been mulling over, that we've maybe felt stuck by. When I think about the Eight of Swords from yesterday, we have to release. Like, the Ten of Swords is always like the put a fork in her, she's done card, right? So it's time to kind of let go of the thoughts that no longer serve us, let go of the things that we were holding on to that maybe weren't necessarily giving us enough. In our effort to hold on to make more or get more, we might actually be limiting ourselves on some level emotionally that we're trying to be steered towards. The idea of waterfall, to me, water can move its way around anything. It can erode stone, earth, all of that over time. Water will just flow wherever it is allowed to go. We need to do that today, right? As we move through this, is my feeling, because in doing that, we allow ourselves the ability to release the Four of Pentacles, release the Ten of Swords, release the things we've been holding on to too tightly or thinking about too much, so much so that it's causing us undue stress, worry, maybe even, harm. When we're too fixated on something negatively, it can cause disease and dis-ease, right? And that's the Ten of Swords to me. It's like he's, so done, he's like dead on the ground. But from that death, that we see there, and again, it's another depiction of the death card, which we've seen like 3 or 4 times this week, there is a release, there is a rebirth. Here is the grounding stone for the day. This is your malachite, which would associate with the 4th chakra of the heart. It is a healing green color. So I'm all about that. The word is touch. I know you guys can't really see it very well in the video. When I think of touch, it's about touching into our heart and how we feel, what is true there, grounding in those feelings, those emotions. That's the Nine of Cups, that's the waterfall, letting that pour forward, letting that truth come out, especially during this Scorpio full moon eclipse, especially during Venus moving into Cancer. This is going to be an emotional period. Our heart may be at the forefront. Listen to it. It's a way that our spirit may be communicating to us through this Nine of Wands and this Nine of Cups It's allowing us to complete cycles around situations where maybe we've been holding on too tightly or thinking about so much so that it's just killing us, for lack of a better analogy. There's an opportunity here to move forward and to be free, to be reborn. Allow that opportunity to take place. Allow the freedom to kind of come in. But first, we have to sort of ground in this idea of touching, connecting, listening to, or responding to our heart's chakra, our emotions, our feelings, our truth of that. And in that truth is the truth of the Nine of Wands, that may be pain, sadness, even loss, but it's not in vain, right? We can use it to light our way going forward. We can use it to not have to go through it again. We don't have to repeat the cycle. That is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified when I go live. Reach out to me via my Facebook business page or my Instagram for a private reading, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.